Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, like the video and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia.
007親自簽字承認走私販賣國寶，罪無可恕，無需審判，即時槍決。翻去。
Written and directed by Stephen Chow Sing Chi and Chi, with the former, of course, starring as the leading man, and the latter cameoing as a blind prisoner who's been arrested for peeking at confidential documents, From Beijing With Love proudly presents itself as a direct spoof of the James Bond franchise. The film itself predates Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery by a few years and is, in many ways, a much more superior parody. It tells the tale of the Chinese secret agent 007 who is sent to Hong Kong to recover the skull of a T-Rex, China's only dinosaur fossil that has been stolen by the man with the golden gun. Partnered with Hong Kong agent Lee, who has been ordered to delay his investigation and ultimately finish him off, 007 takes on a host of wild and wacky villains while dodging bullets, blades and baddies, backed by his trusty butcher's blade and collection of insane gadgets. Although he had been active in the television and film industry from the early 1980s, the hilarious Stephen Chow Sing Chi really shot to superstardom around 1990 when films such as Curry and Pepper, Lookout Officer, All for the Winner and God of Gamblers 2 really allowed him to put his comic talents to use. Of course, between then and From Beijing With Love, the Hong Kong filmmaker practically delivered hit after hit, lighting up the box office with films such as Tricky Brains, Fight Back to School, Royal Tramp, Flirting Scholar and Love on Delivery, proving to be a genuine comic genius and working with directors such as Vincent Kwok, Jeff Lau, Gordon Chan, Danny Lee and the prolific Wong Jing. Up to this point, Chow had often spoofed scenes from Hollywood blockbusters and Western pop culture, as well as Bruce Lee's films Fist of Fury and Enter the Dragon, with the star often citing the little dragon as his ultimate hero. But From Beijing With Love would be the first full parody of a popular film or series that would get his full attention. Interestingly though, he would also pay homage to the hits of Wong Kar-wai and Tony Leung Chiu-wai in particular, spoofing his coffee drinking scene from Chungking Express by swapping it for a dry martini, and another from Days of Being Wild that sees Chow admiring himself in the mirror while combing his hair, even going as far as to use the same music heard in Wong's movie. Much like Stephen Chow, co-writer and director Chi was no stranger to the Mo Lai To comedy genre of Hong Kong cinema. The pair first joined forces in 1991 on the hilarious Magnificent Scoundrels, with Lee going on to appear alongside and direct Chow in titles such as Flirting Scholar, Love on Delivery, God of Cookery, The Lucky Guy, Keen of Comedy and of course From Beijing With Love, most of which have proven to be some of Chow's bigger hits. While much of the audience in the West still find it difficult to pick up on his style of nonsensical humour, I have personally relished in his work for the last few decades, often laughing the loudest in the room and usually at the small, intricate details that easily pass the general audience. Known in Cantonese as quốc產凌凌漆, which literally means the locally produced 007, the film went on to gross $37.5 million in Hong Kong, with Chow Sing Chi gaining a nomination for Best Actor at the Hong Kong Film Awards in 1995. Also gaining a nomination, this time for Best Supporting Actor, was Lau Gar-ying, another regular face of Chow's film projects, with From Beijing With Love being their first that saw the star play an insane version of the James Bond gadget inventor Q. A prolific actor in his own right, with over 160 credits to his name, Lau has appeared alongside some of Hong Kong's biggest stars, including Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Chow Yun-fat, Leslie Cheung, and Tony Leung. Here, the pair are joined by the wonderful Anita Yuan, Pauline Chan, and Joe Chung, with Wong Kam-kong starring as the man with the golden gun, and the wonderful Yu Rong-guang making a cameo appearance as a true kick-ass secret agent. As one would expect, and due to the nature of its portrayal of the Chinese government and Communist Party, From Beijing With Love was never released in China. And while it was not uncommon for Hong Kong movies of this time to make fun of the political corruption and widely criticised bureaucracy of its neighbours leading up to the 1997 handover, It's clear we may never see this kind of comedy come out of Hong Kong cinema ever again. Coming in at an undemanding 83 minutes, the film sits as one of Chow's shortest in running time, yet still offers the complete package with plenty of laughs, brutal violence, and over-the-top scenarios that helped make From Beijing With Love a massive hit and a successful directorial debut for its leading man.